Alright, my name is Richard,
I'm Josh.
and thought it might be a good idea, might not, to.
It's probably not. It's probably not, but we're still gonna do
Why not?
it.
We're gonna just discuss whether it's a good idea to upgrade to a 4K television.
And if you really don't know the answer to that, you probably shouldn't be watching this anyway. I'm gonna be pretty honest. If you're not that educated, you probably should be looking up a different video.
We're trying here.
Introductions to computer technology.
We're trying here. We're trying. So basically, here's my standpoint on it. 4K is 4 times 1080p. Okay? Not only does. I'm getting feedback, Josh.
Are you?
Yes.
What about now?
Test. Okay, no. Anyway, not only does. Not only does. Not everyone has a 1080p set yet. So, first of all, that has to be full. I mean, the 1080p is a standard now to where, television providers are putting out high definition content and things like that. But you think, if you watch on a 1080p display, standard definition video, it looks terrible. Terrible.
Because you're not using it for what it's designed to do. You're using it for something else.
Exactly. And so think about having a 4K television and putting 1080p on it. Oh, 1080p, yeah, it looks nice, but you're stretching that times 4.
Unless you have it the size it would have been anyway, and you'd have all this black space on the outside of that part.
I mean, maybe 4K TVs will have a nice built-in scaler. Maybe. That way they accordingly scale the image so it doesn't look grainy. But
It's a big maybe.
Yeah, but that's still, either way, you're stretching it 4 times. So, and on top of that, you have to have something to put. If you're, looking for actual using 4K, you need something to put 4K out. They're looking into making 4K Blu-rays now, due to the fact that they have over 100 gigabytes on Blu-ray, and because 4K streaming over the internet currently isn't really an option for most people.
It's too much. It's too big to actually stream in real time.
Exactly. And because if I'm not mistaken, to do 1080p, I do believe 1080p takes about 5 megabits per second.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Around.
that would mean it would take about 20 megabits per second to do 4K, and that has to be consistent.
And I go up to. Are you talking about? You're talking about download, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, brain fart for a second. My download goes up to usually, like, what would you say, 45, 50, sometimes up to 75 even.
Yeah, it
But
spikes.
it's not steady. It jumps up and down.
I have FiOS, so mine stays pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
You are a special case, though. You can just.
Yeah, of course. But I'm
Most
just
people
saying.
aren't going to have that high internet speed, and if they do, it's not going to be steady. So
Yeah.
our point being, streaming really isn't that much of
By
a
the way,
plus.
side note, apologies if the recording is not fantastic. I'm recording on a netbook. Just thought I'd throw that out there before I get someone that's like, oh, it looks terrible. Okay, when I get my desktop fixed, it'll look beautiful. I promise. Until then, sorry. Anyway, back
Except
to.
for the part of the screen that's taking up this, that part will still look.
Yeah,
just
that part looks bad. This part looks bad. Basically, you guys are here for
Oh, wait.
all the negatives.
Problem solved. Continue on.
Mask. Anyway, so another thing is to consider, even if you do have a source for 4K, is price. So I looked up some 4K TVs and projectors and found some prices. So I'm just going to pull that up right now. and I found them on CNET here. You still see Josh up here. It looks like the cheapest 4K television is $496, and that's for a 39-inch.
I mean, I'd be able to buy that after a couple of months.
Well, I don't think that's that big of, that's not a lot of money.
It's totally reasonable. It's just in terms of, is it worth it?
I mean, my TV right, in front of me is 32 inches. So 39 inches, it'd be a little bit bigger.
I have a 39 and a half inch, so about 40 inches will be enough for pretty much anything you have to do.
32 is plenty for me.
Ridiculous size room.
32 is plenty for me, but that's me. When you start getting up into the 50-inch range, that's when you're looking at $791, and then $1,000. 55-inch, you start getting $1,500, and 55-inch. If I was going to get a 4K TV, is where I would go. Is a 55 or 65-inch. So that's looking anywhere from about $1,500 up to $3,000, if not more. And
he also asked me to do my research and look up some TVs and stuff. I got very lazy, but from the ones I did see, they were if they were name brand like Sony, they were thousands of dollars. If you're getting
a Sony 55-inch, that's $3,500.
Yeah, there are ones that were like not name brand that were in the hundred.
Yeah,
ranges.
that to me is not worth it. I would rather spend that same amount of money and get a 90-inch TV.
I mean, in terms of 5 years from now, especially 10 years from now, this might be worth it because it'll be cheaper to produce and therefore cheaper to buy.
Exactly, and
they'll be more integrated with
current
technology.
Right now they're developing new codecs and compression methods for the 4K in terms of streaming, so then, cable providers maybe be able to get to that and things like that, because it's all about the compression to get it over that line without, bottlenecking things. Like, see, here's a 70-inch by Sharp for almost $5,000. Said I would rather just, see, they're 85-inch for $40,000. That's Samsung. That's the highest one on the list here. Samsung does
liquidate the assets of a tiny country in order to buy that TV.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Samsung makes a good TV, but
or Northeast High School. Sorry. That's a joke.
$40,000 is nowhere near. The cheapest 85-inch is $17,000. That is not worth it to me. For $17,000, I want a TV that literally is as big as one wall of my house. I want a Jumbotron for that much money.
One thing I do want to stress, though, how much time we have left, by the way?
I am not sure. When it cuts out, we'll just pick up where it leaves off.
Okay, cool. Basically, one thing I do want to address at one point, I guess now, would be that I already kind of touched on it, that eventually this stuff would be worth it because it'll be cheap. Stuff will currently support it. Like, they'll start coming out with movies that are in 4K. They record them in 4K right now, but they actually sell them generally in 1080p.
That way, later, they'll re-release them in 4K anyway.
Exactly.
It's just getting to that point is the problem. Ed,
what?
I just said I would rather spend that $1,500 for, like a 40-inch and go out and buy a 90-inch at 1080p. 1080p is enough for me. I'm using a netbook here. I don't even own a 1080p display right now. Because I don't need it. I have a 720p 32-inch Vizio behind me. Okay. I have a 1600 by 900 22-inch monitor, and I got a couple 4:3 aspect ratio monitors just laying around. I don't even own 1080p rated. In fact, the only thing I own that's 1080p is my phone. My 5-inch display on my phone is 1080p. Okay.
But that works for you.
Yes.
That works for you. It depends on what your specific needs are. That works for you because if you're sitting in your bed and you want to to watch videos, which is generally probably where you do that, unless you're on your netbook while multitasking.
Exactly.
You can fall asleep while watching 1080p video, but you don't need it on your computer.
Exactly.
It's unnecessary strain that you really don't need.
I really don't. If I need more screen real estate, I'll throw another monitor to it. I can hook 5 displays up to my computer, and I just don't know what I usually I have 2 to 3 displays connected to my computer, and that does everything.
There are a couple situations where I can see it being worth it now. If you're in some sort of video production, you probably need
or graphic design, CAD, things of that nature. Yes, I think
some sort of artsy stuff.
Yes.
If you're going to be needing a gigantic resolution monitor, I can see that being
Yeah, but
a
that's
possible thing. But then
that.
you could just use 4 1080p monitors.
Yeah, that right there. The problem, that is marketed toward. We're talking about 4K for a consumer grade, not so much a professional grade.
Yes.
So for a consumer, I just don't think at its current time, unless you really, really just want to say, hey, I have it, unless you want to be that guy, I really don't think that it's worth it.
I don't want to blow you away or anything, but I own a 4K resolution TV in my house. That really picks up all the ladies, trust me.
Because they even know what that is. I said.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds impressive.
What do you think? What's your final word?
My final word is, if you are a general person, unless you are very well off, you just have the cash to throw around, I would say do not go to 4K unless you find a ridiculous deal. If there's someone rich getting rid of one and they want to sell it to you for $200, grab it, whatever. Okay, but if you're going to be looking at it in the average situation, which is, oh, well, it looks better because it's bigger, and you might want to, if you're considering saving up for a while to buy one, I wouldn't do it. Not at least for a couple years, hold off.
I would say,
please.
I would say in 5 years it might be a standard. It's kind of a standard now, but you know what I mean. It'll start to become
Common.
like 1080p is. I think in 2 years the prices of them will go down enough where more people will be jumping on them. But at this current moment in
Then
time,
it'll start progressing.
yes, at this current moment in time, I just think it's not worth it to purchase.
It's really not reasonable at the moment. I mean, the prices are ridiculous. There's not enough stuff to support 4K resolution unless you're going to be like, I got a 4K resolution screen hooked up to my computer and a 4K background. I feel like a badass. And then you can't use it for anything else except for the occasional YouTube video
Yeah.
or Blu-ray. And you're thousands of dollars in the hole at the moment, and you're not even getting that much entertainment out of it. I just don't see the worth of it.
If you want 4K, get 4 1080p displays at the current moment because that would be cheaper.
Yep.
It's just sad. My verdict is at this current time, I'm going to say no.
I would totally agree with you, except for those special circumstances that we went over.
Exactly.
I
So
would agree.
I'm going to stop this now. I think that was successful talk, rant, discussion.
/ beta test for actually video recording with a netbook.
Exactly. So signing off for now. See what future holds. Have a nice day.
See you later.